You know, there are stories you hear, tales of grand battles and political intrigue, where the ending is the big shock. But here's the secret. Sometimes the true horror isn't the final moment, but realizing you walked into it blind, even with all the signs flashing. So whether you're about to hear about a conqueror's fall or a simple man's blunder, remember this. The most dramatic stories are the ones you never see coming, even if they are written in the stars. And speaking of a blunder, let me tell you about the Ides of March. I'd spent my entire adult life raising Rome from the chaos of its own making. My campaigns in Gaul brought glory and wealth. My victory in the civil war against Pompey, the Senate's champion, secured my position. When the Senate, bowing to my popular support and undeniable power, declared me dictator perpetuo, dictator for life, in 44 BCE, I accepted it as a necessity. I was instituting sweeping social reforms, redistributing land to the poor and my retired soldiers, and bringing stability to a system that had been corroded by corruption and ineffective senatorial squabbles. But for the self-appointed guardians of the old order, the aristocratic elite, that title was an insult to the memory of the Roman Republic. They saw my disregard for their traditions, my appointment of magistrates years in advance, my very presence on an ivory and gold throne as a march toward monarchy. They didn't see a reformer. They saw a king waiting to be crowned, a tyrant whose power threatened their own wealth and influence. The whispers evolved into a conspiracy led by two men I should have recognized as dangerous. Gaius Cassius Longinus, the intellectual firebrand. His hostility was not just political, it was venomous. He believed I had snubbed him, that I hadn't rewarded him enough, and his hatred for my regime was a cold, driving force. Marcus Junius Brutus, the man I viewed almost as my son. I had not only given him amnesty after he fought against me in the Civil War, but I had promoted him, favored him, and trusted him implicitly. But his heart belonged to a phantom, the idealized republic established by his ancestor, Lucius Junius Brutus, who had expelled the last king. Cassius had successfully poisoned his ear, convincing him that the blood of a friend was a worthy sacrifice for liberty. The morning of March 15th, 44th BCE, was thick with dread. The soothsayer's cryptic warning, "Beware the Ides of March," had become a common joke, but it had unsettled me. My wife, Calpurnia, was terrified, plagued by nightmares, and convinced I should not attend the Senate meeting scheduled for that day.